We're going to start with that huge game at Wembley tomorrow night. England preparing to take on Scotland in their second group game of Euro 2020. Now, there's a major boost for Gareth Southgate tonight as he confirmed that Manchester United's Harry Maguire will play some part in the game, having been out injured since May with ankle ligament damage.
Harry will be involved tomorrow. Decision we've got to make is whether he's ready to start, but we're really pleased with his progress. He's trained with the team for 4 or 5 days now, so and had no reaction, and of course each session that he's involved with he gets more confident, and I think he's on a really good path. So of course we want everybody available. It causes difficult decisions, but at the moment, this morning on the training pitch we had 26 players training, and that's a great situation for us to be in.
Well, it's been 25 years since England played Scotland in a major tournament. Gareth Southgate played in that game back in Euro 96, but thinks the rivalry isn't as intense as it was when he was growing up.
We, of course, know that we've got to compete because otherwise you can get overrun in any game. But our focus has been on solving the tactical problems that Scotland pose with the way that they play, the way they defend, the way they attack. Our focus has got to be on performance, getting better with every game that we play, and of course for the fans and for us it's a big occasion, but it's another opportunity for 3 points, and our objective is qualification. So that's what we've got to focus on. I thought in the past we've done that well. I thought we did that very well on Sunday. You know, Sunday was a big occasion for everybody. And with the heat as well, I thought we dealt with that really, really well. I think every game they play for England means a lot to them, but I think younger generations probably have a different view on those old rivalries. And of course, the history of the games when we were growing up, the home internationals were one of the few games you saw live at the end of the season, and England-Scotland every year was a massive occasion. Now it's played less regularly. Obviously lots of the players are friends within their clubs. We know the rivalry, but I think I certainly haven't felt the need to build that up with the players. I want them to approach it like any other game of football and focus on playing well, and I don't think we need to emphasise the other part too much.
OK, for more on this, we can cross to England's team hotel, where Gareth Southgate is waiting in the rain, I believe, to speak to us. Sorry about that, Gareth. Won't keep you too long, she says. Plenty of questions for Southgate and Harry Kane, then, about the history behind this game. There, as always, though, a cautious, thoughtful response throughout.
Yes, I thought Gareth Southgate was as thoughtful and as considered as he always is. I think the message he was trying to get across is that we are not going to play the occasion, we are going to play the game. I know there is so much interest, so much hype surrounding this game, but I think what Gareth Southgate and his coaching team have been concentrating on with the England squad is the strengths and weaknesses of this Scotland side, because make no mistake, they think tomorrow night is going to be one of their most difficult games during these Euros. Now, he talked about the fact that Scotland are so good at getting crosses in. That is something that his players will have to stop. And he also talked about the ways that he thought that England could impose themselves on their opponents. So I know there's been a lot of talk about the history and the rivalry, but that is not what Gareth Southgate has been talking to his players about. It has been very professional, it has been very focused, it's been very tactical. They are preparing for a very, very big game. They are not preparing for an occasion, for history, for the rivalry. They're going to leave that to the fans and to the media and to people like me and you, Vicky.
Absolutely, and we love it. Look, they played in the blistering sunshine, of course, at the weekend. They're going to be playing in similar conditions that you're standing in at the moment. What other issues were discussed then regarding the squad for tomorrow night?
Well, look, I think the big news line to come out of the news conference obviously concerns Harry Maguire. Gareth Southgate didn't keep his cards close to his chest. He just came straight out and said Harry Maguire will be involved tomorrow night. Now, he went on to say that he had to decide whether Harry Maguire was going to start or not. I think that is something that will be decided this evening. But he made the point that Maguire is now ready to play. He said Maguire had trained 4 or 5 times. He'd had no reaction to his ankle injury. He was feeling confident in himself. So I think Gareth Southgate now has a big decision to make, because obviously if you're facing the challenge of a team like Scotland at Wembley, you want somebody like Harry Maguire in your defence. You want his leadership qualities, you want his aerial ability. But I think Gareth Southgate has to be a bit cautious, because obviously it's not just about tomorrow night's game as far as Harry Maguire is concerned. He has to make sure that Harry Maguire is fit for the whole tournament if, as he hopes, England go deep into the tournament. So will he decide to keep faith with Tyrone Mings, who played so well on Sunday, with John Stones next to him? That is something that Gareth Southgate has to decide this evening. Other news lines to come out of the news conference. I thought it was interesting. Gareth Southgate was asked about Kieran Tierney and the fact that it looks like he is going to play. Southgate said, look, that does not come as a surprise at all. We were expecting him to play. We're preparing for him to play. He's obviously one of Scotland's most dangerous players, and he name-checked Tierney and Andy Robertson as well. He was also asked about his own memories of Euro 96. Of course, Southgate played in that game against Scotland. He was asked about Paul Gascoigne's goal. He said it was one of the most incredible games he'd played in. It's one of the most incredible goals that he'd seen. But I think what came out of the news conference is they're going to play the game and not the occasion. They're going to leave the history, the rivalry, the hype to me and you, Vicky.
We've got no rivalry, have we? Doesn't answer it. You had to say no at that point, Carvey.
No, you, Vicky, you know you're one of my favourite presenters.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Thank you very much, Gareth Southgate. Enough from you. Oh, brilliant stuff. Oh, you're still in vision. Sorry, Carvey. There are. Oh, OK. Scotland's head coach, Steve Clarke, has promised to take on England at their own game and has warned his side are coming to Wembley to win. Now, Clarke's team are looking to respond positively after Monday's 2-0 defeat to Czech Republic in Glasgow.
We hope to start just as quick as England do. We'll go out there, we'll try and get on the front foot as early as possible, we'll try and get a hold of the ball. The players will try and make themselves feel comfortable on the pitch, on the stage. If we can get off to a quick start, that'll be good for us. It's a game that the players all want to play in. The actual nuts and bolts of getting the players up for the match is going to be really easy, because we know it's a big game, we know we need to get something from the game, and that's what we aim to do. The objective when we started the tournament was to get enough points to get out of the group stage into the knockout stage for the first time in our history, and we still have that in front of us. So we look to get something out of the game against England, and obviously we have to get something out of the game against Croatia as well. So we look forward to the next 2 games. Proud to be the head coach of Scotland, proud to lead this group of players, and hopefully they can make us all smile at the end of the game. I've spent a long part of my life in England, never mind my football playing and coaching career, so good memories down here, lots of good friends. But on the night, I want Scotland to win, desperately.
Well, look, there's a big boost to Clarke's chance of getting that win as he wants, with Arsenal's Kieran Tierney, as Carvey was saying, past fit after playing a full part in training ahead of Scotland flying to London this afternoon. He missed Monday's game at Hampden Park, but he is now expected to start against England.
It's good news for Kieran, it's good news for us, it's good news for the Scottish supporters. So hopefully we can back all that up with a good result.
So do you now know, with that news, the team you're going to put out tomorrow evening?
Of course, yes. He's trained fully the last 2 days, so he's available for the whole game.
I expected him to be fit. I think him and Andy Robertson form a very good partnership down that side of the field for Scotland. We know they've got some very good players. You know, we know they've got some good players playing in the Scottish Premier League, and we know all of the players, of course, playing in the English Premier League are at a very high level. So we certainly don't underestimate the challenge. Lots of teammates, so the players know them very, very well.
Tomorrow's game brings Clarke up against Southgate for the first time at international level. He admits he's been impressed by the job his opposite number has done since taking charge of England back in 2016.
I think Gareth's done a great job with the England team. Like you say, he took them to the last four in the last World Cup. It's not an easy thing to do. He's got a terrific squad of players. He's taken that squad of players he's developed. He's brought a lot of young, exciting talent through into the squad. So he's done a great job. I know Gareth well from the circuit, if you like. When you're going around, you're watching matches. We bumped into each other quite a lot before the COVID restrictions hit. So I've got a lot of respect for Gareth. He's a really good person, and always nice to bump into him and speak to him. And hopefully we can have a nice chat tomorrow. We won't talk to each other very much for the 95 or the 96 minutes of the game, but afterwards hopefully we can have another chat.